here
Yes.
in Helena?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kind of a cool story. We were looking around for a spot. We weren't exactly sure where we wanted to move. We were considering a few different, cities in Montana and even Spokane, Washington, but Helena kept kind of popping up on our radar, and we were looking for spaces. That was a big part as well. Where can we go find a nice office space? And there was one close to my current office that we had visited, and it looked really perfect, and we had said, yeah, we'll take it. It had been open vacant for a year, and they said, okay, great. Well, we also just got another offer today, so we'll let you know. And they let us know, no.
Welcome to the Montana Podcast, where we uncover the best-kept secrets of Big Sky Country. Join us as we highlight the hidden gems and unique stories that make Montana the place we know and love. Whether you're a local or a visitor, get ready to experience the true spirit of Montana, one story at a time.
Hey, man, it's cool to see you. It's been a minute.
Yes.
So I know we've talked a little bit, but for our listeners, who are you and what do you do?
So I'm Dr. Daniel Bridge. I'm a chiropractor here in Helena. And in my office, we love taking care of our patients, and we work on all sorts of different conditions, but we specialize a lot in sciatica, for sure.
Okay, and where are you guys located?
We're over by Target, off North Montana, so it's 1040 Partridge Place.
1040, and it's Endurance Chiropractic?
Yep.
Awesome. And how long have you been doing that for?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. And why did you get into chiropractic?
Yeah, so I was introduced to it from my dad. He's a chiropractor, and there's a lot of chiropractors in my family. He's got 2 brothers, and I've got cousins, and he's got uncles, and it wasn't really something I really thought I was going to do when I was younger, but as I grew up and got older, I just kept being drawn towards that, into that direction, and I was an economics major, decided to switch over to exercise science and go through chiropractic school, and I had the opportunity to work with my dad in Shelby, and so I did that for 5 years. I had 2 satellite clinics, one in Cutbank and then one in Chester, and drove back and forth between those 2 offices for 5 years until we ended up moving to Helena, and now we just have the one office.
Cool. So you moved to Helena 3.5 years ago?
Yep, yeah.
Awesome. Have you always been in that location here
Yes.
in Helena?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kind of a cool story. We were looking around for a spot. We weren't exactly sure where we wanted to move. We were considering a few different, cities in Montana and even Spokane, Washington, but Helena kept kind of popping up on our radar, and we were looking for spaces. That was a big part as well. Where can we go find a nice office space? And there was one close to my current office that we had visited, and it looked really perfect, and we had said, yeah, we'll take it. It had been open vacant for a year, and they said, okay, great. Well, we also just got another offer today, so we'll let you know. And they let us know, no. They had gone with, it was a St. Pete's physical therapy or some sort of another office, and I don't blame them for going with, a bigger established company. But we really liked that space, and one day we were kind of driving around that area, and we saw our current office space. It was not for rent, and we were just driving through that area, and we said, oh, man, that would be a really cool place for an office. And I think it was maybe 6 months later that we got a call or an email from our realtor with the space, and we drove right down that weekend, and we were so excited that it was available. And it wasn't long after where we just said, let's do it. So we put everything in motion to get that space, to close our current offices, to pull the trigger, and to move to Helena, all in the space of a month. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah. That sounds like a whole lot. Do you have x-rays machines?
I do, yeah.
So moving those?
No, I purchased those about maybe a year after getting our space here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Man, this year I had the honor and privilege to try and move one of those things. Was not fun.
Yeah. we have it and we really like our space, but sometimes when we kick the idea of maybe going somewhere a little bigger, in the back of my head is, ugh, I don't want to move the x-ray machine. And they break a lot of the times when you move them too. And so it's like, yeah, let's just leave it where it's at.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the one that I moved broke. But we'll see when they try and put it back together.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's awesome. I love that. I love your story. That's so cool.
Thanks.
So you have a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a YouTube channel.
Right.
Where can people find it?
So my YouTube channel is Dr. Daniel Bridge, and on there, I go over different things that you can do at home, stretches, exercises, to help with different conditions, neck pain, carpal tunnel, plantar fasciitis, whatever that might be. My podcast is called Helena Hustle, and that's not chiropractic related. I interview different businesses here in Helena and learn about them and what they do for the community.
Cool. What has been, I don't want to, say everyone's not cool, but who do you think is like one of your most interesting interviews?
Gosh, that's hard, Robert. They've all been really good. And I'll just go recently. So my most recent interview is a lady, Carrie Krebs, and she works for Florence Crittenton.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know anything about Florence Crittenton, and Carrie and I had not met before. And it was actually really embarrassing because she was at my office right on time. I had absolutely everything set up, but I had forgot a little cord. So I record my podcast on a MacBook, and a MacBook, the one I have, only has USB-C connections, and I needed a USB plug to hook up the microphones. And I didn't have that, and I was missing that cable. So I was trying to use this other laptop that takes about 45 minutes to boot up that I found in the closet. And all of this, I kept thinking that'd be quicker than running home. Finally, I called my wife, and she brought it for me. But Carrie sat there patiently for about an hour before we were able to record, and I felt terrible. But then she just hit a home run with the conversation. She's a super easy person to talk to, and they're doing they provide a lot of good services for Helena and across Montana. But each time that I sit down with somebody, I feel like I kind of know them or know about them a little bit, and I'm always surprised at just the cool stories that everybody has that you don't really learn about until you ask.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like there is unique people all over the world, and especially in our hometown, and giving people the opportunity to highlight their uniqueness that maybe they wouldn't get the chance or the chance in that certain way. And by you giving them a platform, hopefully somebody listens to your podcast and then they will use that service.
Fingers crossed, yes. But yeah, I always start off with 2 truths and a lie. So they'll tell me 2 truths about themselves and 1 lie, and I got to try to guess the lie. And it's not easy. People, almost everybody, they've got these outrageous stories, things that have happened to them throughout their life. And yeah, it's really interesting.
Okay, I like that. So give me 2 truths and a lie.
Oh, gosh. I'm not prepared. See, I always prep them. I say, this is how we're going to start it, but let me think if I can come up with 2 truths and a lie on the spot. I don't think I can.
That is fair. I wasn't ever going to ask that question. And I don't like prepping guests because my experience is that it's not like they just turn into a robot.
Yeah, better to have an authentic conversation.
Yeah, but like I understand why people prep them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just been my experience, and I'm like, all right, well. So you're from Montana, born and raised?
Not born. I was actually born in St. Louis.
Okay.
While my dad was at chiropractic school.
Okay.
And we moved back when I was about 5 years old.
Okay, so
pretty much.
Yep. All right. So you know Montana pretty well, the lay of the land. What is a hidden gem that people should know about?
Ooh, I don't know if I'd want to reveal any of those.
You know, that's fair because maybe non-Montanans are listening to this.
Right. No, I love Teton Pass Ski Hill. That's where I grew up skiing. And it's outside of Augusta.
Yeah.
A small little ski hill, but I would call that a hidden gem. I know they've had some time where maybe it was closed. I feel like it's open. I haven't been back in a very long time, but hopefully this winter get a chance to do that. But I love little places like that where it's off the beaten path. You don't have all of the mobs. I love the Bob Marshall Wilderness. Glacier's fantastic, but if you're willing to put on your hiking boots and put some work in and get into the backcountry, the Bob Marshall Wilderness is a place where you're not mobbed with crowds and lines, and you can really see Montana and the mountains and the nature. So that's one of my favorite places.
I love it. I love it. Growing up, my dad's business partner had a cabin by Discovery.
Oh, okay.
The ski hill. And where that cabin was, it was located on a shutdown ski hill. So we would ride snowmobiles up to the top and just ride fresh powder all the way down.
That's amazing.
It was best. Like going to a ski hill after that, I was like, well, this isn't as good.
You
like,
peaked.
Yeah.
Everything is not as good after that.
Exactly. And we had our own snowcat until it sat on fire.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Riding on a ski hill and the snowcat's on fire was an interesting story. If only, I think like the red flip phone from Verizon just came out, so video quality wouldn't have been that good.
At the time, it seemed pretty nice, though, right?
It did.
Yeah.
It was like the coolest thing, man. I remember I got so many chicks' numbers because I had that flip phone. So besides doing chiropractic and maybe snowboarding, like, what are some of your hobbies?
I'm a runner at heart. I say that because I haven't run in a few years. So I do love to run. I love to hike, mountain bike. I did a mountain bike race in Butte this summer, which was really brutal. But I have 4 kids, and so really it's what can I do to get them outside, get them enjoying Helena, nature. You know, my oldest son is in sports. So when we have some free time, it's let's go do something fun as a family.
I love that. I love that. It, I just moved back, and ironically, now that I moved back, you're showing up on my social media more than when I was in Indiana, just ironically. And it seems, and just by knowing you, you are very family-oriented.
Yeah.
So I would say that runs through your practice.
Yeah, we have a lot of patients who they'll come see us, and then a few months later their spouse calls, and we'll see their spouse, and maybe later their kids come in or grandkids come in, and yeah, we love taking care of families for sure.
Yeah. So if somebody's listening to this, what are maybe some red flags that other chiropractors might have?
I feel like everybody's different, and you have different philosophies. And for whatever you're looking for, there's probably an office for that. So I kind of think of it as restaurants. You might be looking for something quick, a nice quick drive-through meal, or you might be looking for more of an experience where you're going to sit down and have a really nice meal. So I don't know if I'm sure there are bad chiropractors, but around here I think they're all really good chiropractors. It just depends on, the style, the philosophy, maybe the types of treatments, or the clientele, the age or demographics that they're looking for. So I think you can learn a lot about somebody through their website, or through their social media, trying to get a feel for their personality, and then just going there and just trying to figure out if you might be a good fit for their office. So
that's fair. And for somebody coming into your office, what does that look like? The process.
So for me, my goal is to do a very thorough, in-depth consultation and exam when somebody first comes in, so I can get a really good idea of what their problem is, and to find out if they might be a good fit for our office, because not everybody is. Most of the time somebody comes in, they have a pretty good idea of what it is that we do, and we're able to help them out. Every once in a while, somebody comes in and I just say, hey, I'm sorry, this is something that's kind of outside of my scope or something I'm comfortable with, and I'll refer them to the right spot. So there's that, is if they're not a good fit for our office, then we can maybe find someone who could be. But I'm going to try to get as detailed as I can on what's going on. And also, when I make my recommendations, it's going to be pretty detailed and thorough to try to get to the root of the problem as best as possible. So I'll get some people that say, hey, I just really need a quick adjustment. And I'll ask them, how long has this problem been going on? Oh, for a few years. That's not quite the right match. It's not going to fix their problem with 1 or 2 adjustments. And so that, for me, it's about, identifying, okay, what kind of stretches do we want to do? What kind of exercises? How many visits is this going to take? Is it going to need some of the specialized equipment that we utilize in our office? And then just presenting that in a way that my patients can absorb and say, oh, they get kind of the idea, the picture of what this journey will look like, how we can solve their problem, and then also, maybe more than anything, how we can get long-term results so that later on down the road, they're still strong and healthy and getting better and better and better, versus maybe just a quicker patch, temporary Band-Aid sort of a solution.
Yeah. I like that. It seems like a little different. I just happen to know a lot of chiropractors, and I like how you explain that compared to how I've heard other.
Well, ask me tomorrow. I'll probably explain it a little differently. that was on the fly.
Fair enough. I know there's not a lot of good places to eat in Helena.
I'd beg to differ.
Okay. So what is, like, if you and your wife were going to go and have a night out, where would you guys go eat?
One of the places we really like is the Hopper. They have a Brazilian bowl, which every time I get it, I'm surprised by how good it is.
Yeah.
We really like the Hopper. We like Taco del Sol. We like Hokkaido, if you're looking for some sushi or for some ramen.
Yeah.
We really like that. The name is escaping me, but across from the UPS store, there's that Subway sandwich, U-Bake pizza. It's got an Italian name.
I want to say Papa Murphy's, but that's wrong.
No, it's not a chain. Stefano's.
Oh, yeah.
Stefano's is really good.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, we do have good places to eat.
Dinner's Done Right has amazing soups and salads. So,
okay.
I would love to get, an Indian food restaurant here in town, or some Thai food, which I guess we used to have good Thai food. But yeah, there's some restaurants we really like here.
And that I always forget about the places that you named off. So, yeah, I guess I can edit that part out. Cool. Well, Daniel, I appreciate you coming in. Is there something that you feel like you're compelled to share?
I think what you're doing, highlighting different businesses around Montana, is fantastic. I'm so glad to be part of this and get to sit down with you and just, share a little bit about myself and my business, and what we can hopefully offer somebody who's struggling with, something they were hoping would go away. You get hurt and you hope it goes away, or you try a little bit of this or that at home and maybe it doesn't. If something's more consistent or more chronic or serious, somebody I'd love to sit down and find out if we might be a good fit for somebody.
Awesome. And what is your Instagram handle?
I don't know.
I think it's Endurance Chiropractic.
I think you're probably right. Yeah.
I'll find it and I'll tag it in the show notes. So awesome, Daniel. Well, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
On this early Tuesday morning. I was going to say Sunday.
Labor Day kind of threw us off.
Yeah, cool, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome.
Right on.
Cool, man. What can I do for you?